Jerry Miller, thank you kindly for joining us on a Wednesday afternoon. Our studio in downtown Charlottesville and our building, the Macklin Building on Market Street. A lot we're going to cover on the program. More news from the University of Virginia. Another embattled executive jettisoned, or this time on her own accord, ditching the University of Virginia. We'll talk to Melina Kibbe on today's program. Kevin Cox is back in court. The Crosswalk Vandal, or the Crosswalk artist, or the Crosswalk activist. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some folks call him a vandal. Others call him an activist. Some referring to him as an artist. Regardless, Kevin Cox in court again. Also on today's program, a renowned chef, a man most known for creating Mas Tapas, one of the most renowned and established restaurants in Charlottesville City, is rebranding his second venture, or the 2.0 version of his restaurant career. Tomas is changing quality pie to Barto Tomas. We'll talk about that on today's show. I think the rebranding, I'll give you a snippet, is a smart move. I love the cuisine of quality pie. Absolutely adore the menu. The food he makes at Quality Pie, amazing. I never thought, even from day one, the moniker Quality Pie was best suited or fit what he was trying to do at the former Spud Nuts location. We'll talk about that today. The Greyhound station has traded hands, $1.5 million. The owner of the Greyhound station, according to NBC 29, is a nondescript LLC called Renaissance Investment LLC. That's all the TV station reported. Well, we're going to dig deep and ask who is behind Renaissance Investment LLC and what else have they purchased recently. We have those answers for you today on the I Love CVille Show. Also on the program, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk restaurant news and notes. We're going to talk what we are hearing is a potential move on the downtown mall to ban camping on the most important 8 blocks in a region we call Central Virginia. Is a camping ban geared specifically to the homeless on the near horizon? Multiple stakeholders in this community, including a prominent and significant landlord, have reached out to me this morning to discuss this camping ban and asked me to talk about it today on the I Love CVille Show. Ladies and gentlemen, the program is literally on the cusp, the crossroads of what everyone's talking about in Central Virginia. We want to source the content with your help. William McChesney sent us an idea via Facebook Messenger earlier today, and we dug deep on the story, and we salute you, Bill McChesney, for that. I want to highlight Conan Owen, who on yesterday's program was on absolute fire, got significant feedback on Conan Owen's performance yesterday, the owner of Sir Speedy Charlottesville. Sir Speedy Judah, we'll get some branding on screen. If you can put a logo on it, Sir Speedy of Central Virginia can help you brand and market it. This step and repeat banner directly behind me, the new one featuring our flagship brand, the Miller Organization, thanks to the fine folks at Sir Speedy of Central Virginia and Conan Owens' team. Jason Noble, welcome to the broadcast. So much to cover on the show. Judah, if we can go to the studio camera and then a 2-shot as we welcome you. Goodness gracious, Melina Kibbe, the good doctor, in some circles, the bad doctor, ditches the University of Virginia for the University of Texas.
Yep.
That's a hell of a story. Kevin Cox, you call him a crosswalk vandal, evangelist, activist, artist. What's the adjective you're going to use for Kevin Cox?
I think they all fit. I like artist.
Wow, you went with artist on that one. I thought you would go with vandal.
I mean, it doesn't have to be 100% accurate.
Which is most applicable? Artist,
Let's see.
activist, evangelist, vandal, Kevin Cox, who painted a crosswalk in the city of Charlottesville for what he said was safety purposes, what Charlottesville police and Charlottesville City Hall have said, dangerous purposes.
I'd say activist vandal.
You say activist?
Activist vandal.
Activist vandal?
Yeah.
Is that a new word you made up?
Does it have to be one word? Do you want to just pick one word?
I'm saying which is most applicable for Kevin Cox, who is in court for the second time, I believe, on Thursday?
It will be, yeah. The judge needed a little more time to think about things.
The fact that so many resources, so many dollars, Kevin Cox's dollars, GoFundMe dollars, city dollars, courtroom resources have been allocated to this already is befuddling.
I mean, this is what Kevin Cox wanted. This certainly keeps the discussion of Elliott Street in the public consciousness.
Ray Cadell says activists for many years. One viewer and listener said, Judah, you did not move the banner behind you today.
I know.
We don't have to worry about that.
We've got an extra one now, and they're a little tougher to move.
I mean, it's not that tough. They slide. It'll take you less than 15 seconds. We can put it on the studio camera and slide it ourselves if we want on camera and do it for the viewers and listeners. It's all right. We could do it on a different show. I will call Kevin Cox. I respect what he tried to do, but I'm going to call him a crosswalk vandal.
That's 2 words.
Crosswalk vandal?
Yeah.
No, I said vandal, activist, artist, or evangelist. I'm calling him a vandal.
Yeah.
What he did is vandalism. That's 1 word. Not 2 words.
I know, but you added crosswalk in there.
Crosswalk vandal, crosswalk artist, crosswalk evangelist, crosswalk activist. We're picking which word to add to crosswalk.
Okay.
You're nitpicking. Vandal is the
As
word
for
I'm
you.
going with. Are you going artist or activist?
I'll go with crosswalk activist.
Okay. He's in court again, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think the outcome is going to be for Cox?
I think he'll probably be ordered to pay back the city, and I think the judge will probably leave off the prison sentence.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think Kevin Cox is going to have to cover his legal fees, some of those covered by GoFundMe, most of them covered by GoFundMe and crowdsourcing. I think Kevin Cox is going to be responsible for all court fees. Any fee associated with his appearance in court, he's going to have to pay out of pocket. And I think the city of Charlottesville and the judge he's going to have to cover city expenses to returning this crosswalk, what the city had to pay out of pocket to return this crosswalk to what it was before it was a crosswalk. And I think when this is all said and done, this is going to cost Kevin Cox thousands of dollars. Is it going to be north of 10 grand? No. But is it going to be somewhere between $2,500 and $10,000? Yes. And then Kevin Cox is going to have to ask himself this. Was the effort he did worth somewhere between $2,500 and $10,000 out of pocket? And part of him is going to absolutely say yes.
I think most of that is going to get paid by other people.
You think most of it's GoFundMe crowdsourced?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a large chunk will be too. A lot to cover on the broadcast. Barto Tomas rebranding.
And they actually started it last November, but they're finally getting around to repainting the place. It looks great.
Did you understand the moniker Quality Pie from day one? Because they served way more than pie at the old Spud Nuts location.
And my problem was when I went there I wanted you have those little meat pies that the kangaroo guy sold. I thought they were going to have stuff like that, and I went there after work one day.
The kangaroo guy?
I don't remember the name of it was a little...
the cart on the mall?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, getting back to what I was talking about, I went there after work one time, Quality Pie, and all they had were dessert pies. I'm like, it's dinner time. I don't want a dessert pie.
But he sells more than just pies there.
Okay.
That's why I never understood the Quality Pie moniker. You're referring to the pie guy in the downtown mall, who you often will see at the farmer's market on Saturdays at Ix Park. We'll talk Barto Tomas's rebranding on today's program as well. We'll talk the deal flow with the Greyhound station being purchased for $1.5 million. NBC 29 had 2 paragraphs on this, 15 seconds, in their nightly newscasts. They mention a nondescript LLC that purchased the Greyhound station. We are going to dig a little deeper and offer you some intel of who made the purchase and what else they have purchased, and then we'll pontificate on what the future for the Greyhound station could be. This is a prominent position in a critical quarter in the city of Charlottesville. So many topics to cover. One shot me there, J-Dubs. Restaurant news and notes. Conan Owen gave a tidbit yesterday when he was on the broadcast. The CEO and owner of Sir Speedy. He said Raising Cane's on the UVA corner is soon to open. He talked yesterday the trials and tribulations that the gentleman who's replacing Mel's Cafe, his business is...
Replacing Mel's Cafe, his business is, something about pickles, right? Delicious.
There we go. Thank you very much, Judo. I knew you had that in you. The challenges that he had of getting open and the challenges of Albemarle County and the city of Charlottesville as it pertains to supporting the small business ecosystem. Geez Louise, if you were to launch a business in Central Virginia and your business was not tied to a brick and mortar storefront where you had retail or you had to sell SKUs or you had to be in a physical location, I would very much advise you not to launch your small business in the city of Charlottesville or Albemarle County, and instead pursue one of these neighboring counties like Louisa or Nelson County instead, Orange County, that are rolling out the red carpet for small business owners. All those topics and more. Delicious fish and chicken, Conan Owen says. I want to highlight one business that for 61 years has managed the trials and the tribulations of doing business in the city of Charlottesville, and that's Charlottesville Sanitary Supply, 61 years to be exact. John Vermillion, Judah, Andrew Vermillion, online at charlottesvillesanitarysupply.com. The Vermillions are honest men, communicative men. They do business the honest way, the right way. They educate their customers. The Charlottesville Sanitary Supply team is legitimately keeping our household's swimming pool crystal clear blue. Very blue. Sanitary needs, pool supply needs, water cleaning, Charlottesville Sanitary Supply. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the lead of the show, as you put the lower third on screen and as we welcome Judah Wickower back into the broadcast, is Melina Kibbe, the dean of the medical school, hitting the road jack, ditching the University of Virginia for the University of Texas in Houston? I mean, is this a lateral move? I understand that it's professionally a position on paper that is elevated. She's going from dean to what's her new role there, Judah Wickower?
President.
So from dean to president, but you're going from one of the most prestigious medical systems to, I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade here on UT, and this is UT Houston here, right?
Yeah.
Does she read the writing on the wall and say, all hell is breaking loose at the University of Virginia? My direct superior, Craig Kent, resigned. The president of the University of Virginia resigned. The Department of Justice is flexing its muscle on UVA. The Board of Visitors is completely Glenn Youngkin appointed. There is wildfire after wildfire after wildfire at Thomas Jefferson's University, and I no longer have an extinguisher or a blanket to dampen the flames, so I'm going to pack my car, pack my family, leave my house, my nearly $1 million job, and head all the way across the country to Houston to be a president at a school where I was the only finalist for a position. This is Melina Kibbe here, guys. And remember, this is the Melina Kibbe where was it 4 months ago, had a fake resignation video created? Someone despised the dean of the UVA Medical School so significantly.
I mean, she had 128 healthcare professionals pen a letter of no confidence about her. I wouldn't want to stay at UVA.
128 healthcare professionals. We're talking physicians, penned a letter, as Judah said, of having no confidence in her and alleging white-collar racketeering, fraud, bullying, phony medical chart changing, illegal billing practices, backroom dealing. And then 4 months ago, either one person or a collection of people created a fake resignation letter, fake resignation announcement, fake resignation video with Melina Kibbe saying that she's going to resign from UVA 4 months ago. And then she had to go on record saying this was phony, this was not me. Mm-hmm. This is literally what you would see on Nickelodeon. You can't do that on television. Somebody cue the slime and have it fall down all over our heads and faces, ladies and gentlemen. This is something you would see on Comedy Central. A phony video. One of the most powerful people at the medical system. Faking her resignation. Mm-hmm. Now she completely leaves and does so where the swinging doors don't hit her on the backside on the way out. Your thoughts on this story? Geez Louise, with a lot of medical professionals watching the program right now.
I think it's always better to get out under your own locomotion.
100%. You know what this reminds me of? I'll give you a correlation. This reminds me of the head football coach or the athletic director leaving for another job before the alumni base or the fan base can use public outcry to get them fired. This is Melina Kibbe, who understands the power of perception and how it's working against her. Melina Kibbe, who understands that with Jim Ryan gone, with Craig Kent gone, and with a board of visitors that is frankly in a significant crossroads period, because you have UVA's Senate who is, said no confidence with the BOV?
Yeah.
UVA faculty in the UVA Senate right now, faculty members, have voted no confidence with the Youngkin-appointed Board of Visitors.
Yeah.
So Kibbe's reading the tea leaves. She's like, Jesus, Jim Ryan's out. Craig Kent's out. The Board of Visitors is all Republican.
Where are all my friends at?
The UVA faculty says, no confidence in the BOV. Where are all my friends at? I didn't have that many to begin with in Charlottesville. Certainly at UVA Medical.
Yeah.
Let me pack the Mercedes-Benz and let's get the family down to Texas and let's list the house immediately. Follow the MLS guys and some GIS records to see Craig Kent and Melina Kibbe's house on the market for sale. What a turn or transition period for UVA right now. Mm-hmm. What's next? Who's the interim president going to be?
Yeah.
When is the BOV make an official announcement for a new president? Does Youngkin get to do it? Does Spanberger get to do it? The story's not over yet.
No.
Story's not over. Next storyline. What do you got, Judah Wickhauer?
Oh, let's see.
Goodness, there's a lot of physicians watching the broadcast
Kevin
right
Cox.
now. Next headline.
Kevin Cox.
I feel bad for the guy.
I don't feel bad for him.
Kevin Cox spent an hour with us on the I Love CVille show. I caught grief from some folks in power for featuring Kevin Cox on the show.
For giving him a voice? Why is that?
For that reason.
Because they don't want him to have a voice?
For platforming Kevin Cox. I caught grief for that. That I shouldn't have done it. I said, don't we all have an opportunity to use the platform? The whole point of the show is whether we agree or disagree with what we're talking about. It's a platform for the community.
Yeah.
And I wanted the communities to see Kevin Cox. I thought in the interview with Kevin Cox, he came across, these are my words, disagree with me if you want. Viewers and listeners, disagree with me if you want. He came across as angry.
Yeah.
He came across as
I mean, he was
petulant.
angry. Petulant, huh? I'd have to go back and
bad-tempered, sulky, childish, bitter.
Okay.
He came across as someone that was combative,
Yeah.
short-tempered. I understand he's trying to do what's best for the community. Had a phone call this morning with my mentor, Bill Nitchman. You know how much respect I have with Bill Nitchman. Mm-hmm. He said, I've known Kevin Cox for 35 years. And for 35 years, he has done what he thought is best for the Charlottesville community. And Kevin Cox, I truly believe his agenda and motive with painting this crosswalk was his vision of what is best for Charlottesville.
Yeah.
I applaud him for that. The execution of what is best for Charlottesville was piss poor. And he's going to have his day in court for a second time on Thursday. And on Thursday, what has happened with Mr. Cox is an embarrassment to a certain extent with his family, and a bill that's going to be somewhere between $2,500 and $10,000 that he's either going to have to pay out of his own pocket or he's going to have to crowdsource. And whether you agree with this or not, you may disagree with this. Viewers and listeners may disagree with this. When you're using GoFundMe and crowdsourcing money to pay a bill, and if the community rallies around you and does it, and you achieve your goal of whatever money you're trying to raise, you still have a sense of pride or self-esteem or confidence that has been eroded down because you had to go that route to raise the money. You disagree with that?
I think you're making an extremely broad blanket statement that doesn't necessarily cover a whole lot of situations in terms of...
You think people want to use GoFundMe to pay their bills, Judah?
No, most people probably don't.
Okay.
But oftentimes it's not the person that's
it's always the person that's doing it. Somebody may do it on behalf of the person, but it's the person doing it on behalf of the GoFundMe because they know the GoFundMe doesn't have the money to pay their bills. It's always the person that needs it done. And maybe their best friend, their uncle, their mom, their cousin, their second aunt, their next door neighbor that launches the GoFundMe. But whoever launches the GoFundMe does it on behalf of somebody that can't pay their bills.
Yeah.
Reed's, the grocery store, a customer close to the owners launched the GoFundMe on behalf of Reed's.
Yeah.
When it was all said and done, do you think the sisters that owned Reed's at the time wanted a GoFundMe launch to cover their bills and their payroll, their inventory costs at this embattled grocery store? And then the question was it 20 grand that was raised?
I don't remember the exact
How was the money used? And it's closed now. That's a different topic.
Yeah.
Does the Cox family really want a GoFundMe launch to support a guy that's in court that's a grown-ass man? I'm talking very straightforwardly and frankly here. I get what he's trying to do. I understand I want to do what's best for Charlottesville. But this entire turn of events, I would bet you, if he knew what has happened since he painted that crosswalk with spray chalk, he says it's spray chalk. Since he painted that crosswalk, I would bet you if he knew what he knew today, he would not have done it again.
Okay.
You disagree?
I don't disagree. You're making a...
It's a talk show, Judah.
I know.
The whole point of the talk show is for us to have conversation.
I think he would do it again.
You think he would do it again?
Yeah.
Agree to disagree? Why? Because of the attention? The currency of attention, that's why?
The attention to a cause he's passionate about.
All right, I'll give you that. Can I play devil's advocate with you? Can I counter your point?
You will, yeah.
The currency of attention that he's received from painting this crosswalk, what has he actually gained? What is the yield? What is the return on investment on the currency of attention here?
Just attention to the cause. I don't think he fully expected that all of a sudden
I think he expected the city to do a crosswalk there.
Action and put in a crosswalk. He's been at loggerheads with Duncan for quite a while.
Brennan Duncan, was he the chief engineer?
Yeah. And I don't think he thought this was going to get a crosswalk immediately put in there, but he certainly got people energized one way or the other, either angry at him or angry at the city, and I think he's accomplished quite a lot.
You think he's accomplished quite a lot from this crosswalk art, this crosswalk vandalism, this crosswalk advocacy, this crosswalk activism? You think he's accomplished a lot?
Yeah, he's gotten people talking about it.
Man.
If he hadn't done this,
I respect your opinion.
Who would have thought about the woman that was killed on Elliott?
But it wasn't
a year
at that
ago?
spot that she was killed.
It was a block away.
Yeah, not the exact spot she was killed.
No, it wasn't the exact spot. I'm not sure that matters.
Deep Throat, comments coming in. Number one in the family. Viewers and listeners, let us know your thoughts. Holly Foster and Henrico, we'll get to your comments in a matter of moments here too. Deep Throat says, Cox has already raised more than $2,000 in GoFundMe.
I'm not surprised.
And the city has gotten dragged far and wide from the Not the Bee to the Guardian. So now we are known not only for tiki torches, but also petty prosecution of someone for a guerrilla crosswalk.
Yeah.
As much as Kevin Cox has lost, the city has lost more. Sam Sanders and Brennan Duncan had to waste a day in court. Though given how well Duncan does his job, it probably helped the city to keep him away from his 9 to 5 in City Hall. That's Deep Throat's words. Those are not mine, Brennan Duncan's. That's number one in the family, Deep Throat's words, Brennan Duncan and Sam Sanders. The city has caught so much egg on their face.
I love that.
Over the last, okay, let me ask you this question. John Blair, Deep Throat, Kevin Yancey, Jason Noble, William McChesney, Vanessa Parkhill, Ray Cadell, Logan Wells Claylow, Aaron King, Albert Graves, all the viewers and listeners that are watching the program. Over the last 12 to 24 months, let's just call it 24 months, over the last 24 months for the sake of a talk show.
2 years.
Over the last 2 years for the sake of a talk show, which entity has been kicked in the nuts more, had more egg on their face, or had more damage to their brand? The city of Charlottesville or the University of Virginia?
I think I'd probably go with the city of Charlottesville.
Wow.
Because-
Make your point on the city of Charlottesville.
Because I think
You have a lot of ways to make a point here. I'm not saying you're wrong here. Make your point.
I mean, I would say a lot of the ire directed at UVA was directed at President Ryan.
Okay.
From
Fair point.
Decisions that may or may not have been his to just seeming misfires, to even the whole university health debacle portrayed President Ryan in a bad light when he made comments that he then had to walk back. But the city's just had, I don't know, just between gunshots and
Yep.
stuff on the downtown mall to...
I mean, let's just rattle this off, okay? Last 24 months for the city of Charlottesville. The downtown mall is a homeless shelter. There is scuttlebutt I'm hearing behind the scenes that camping is about to be made illegal on the downtown mall, guys. But right now, you can camp on the downtown mall. We will be the first to let you know if that scuttlebutt materializes. But I received phone calls from significant heavy hitters. I'm talking... I'm trying not to out anybody here. I'm talking 9-figure heavy hitters.
Do we have any...
Net worth 9-figure heavy hitters, I'm talking here. That camping on the downtown mall is on the cusp of being made illegal. It has not materialized yet. They asked me to talk about this on the show to get this in the news cycle.
I wonder if they're going to reclassify what the downtown mall is.
I'm going to leave what I was told by people of power, prominence, and influence and relay to the viewers and listeners this is what I was told to relay. That's all I'm going to say. Do we know more? Yes. But all I can say right now is that.
I don't know more.
I know more. All I can say is that. In the last 24 months, Judah, let's rattle it off together. Charlottesville City headwinds. It's a homeless shelter on the downtown mall. This zoning debacle is absolutely humiliating.
Yeah, 100%.
The new zoning ordinance is an embarrassment. The gentry lock handling of the deadlines in the new zoning ordinance is humiliated the city.
Yeah.
We had the horrific events of the 4th of July. I hate to admit this, but it is reality. Gun violence has escalated of late in the city.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned, I think somebody is saying that it has a lot to do with the youths and the Utes.
Yeah, the youngins.
The Utes in the city.
Deep Throat likes to say it's 50 terrible people running amok, unchecked in the city that's doing all this shooting. And
Yeah.
Deep Throat straight up has data that says this gun violence is happening all over CRHA property. It's directly tied to people living in CRHA housing, Charlottesville Redevelopment Housing Authority housing. He's got the data to back it up. Chief Kochis is on the show, has said it's like 30 to 50 knuckleheads that are devastating the city with guns.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small city. It's not like we've got a massive gang problem here.
But we're in agreement that gun violence is escalating.
Yeah, it may not be, I think we're also more aware of it, so it may not be, it may still be down, but it's kind of like saying that inflation is decreasing. It's never decreasing. It's just the rate at which it's increasing is going down.
Great analogy. In the last 24 months, we had Sandersville, Charlottesville's version of Hooverville, and Market Street Park, where he turned one of the most prominent parks, if not the most prominent park in the city, into a homeless encampment.
Yeah.
And then he asked the chief and his team to clean up the mess that he allowed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, which they did with, with aplomb and absolutely no issues.
Oh, Chief Kochis did it perfectly.
Yeah.
But Sanders put the police chief and the police department in a bad position there.
No doubt.
In the last 24 months, we've seen the city incredibly struggle to transition out of COVID. We have Q1 sales tax reports released by the Chamber of Commerce that backs that statement up, where tax collection is down for the first quarter of this year compared to the first quarter of last year. Retail vacancies, use your eyes, guys. They are up. We have empty storefronts. And if storefronts are being filled, they're being filled with the wrong tenant. CRHA on the downtown mall. They purchased a building. The Operation Hope, the assimilation program from incarceration back into society, storefront of the downtown mall. That's not what you want in the downtown mall. Those are just two examples.
Yeah.
Vacancies are up. Institutional brands, 15, 16 of them closed. Judah has a strong argument to make in the last 24 months when compared to UVA. The city has caught more egg on the face or gotten kicked in the nuts the hardest. I'm going to make the argument the University of Virginia for the obvious reasons. UVA Medical School, the redacted reports, the pro-Palestine pepper spraying protest, Jim Ryan, Burt Ellis, rampant cheating at the Darden School. Regardless, you can't find two other entities in the last 24 months that have had brand or equity more damaged or eroded than those two brands, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Find me one.
Tough.
Find me one, folks. Comments coming in quickly. We'll go John Blair on LinkedIn, his photo on screen. Roger Voisinay, Philip Dow, welcome to the broadcast. Television, radio, and print, welcome to the broadcast. Brewery, couple of brewery owners, welcome to the broadcast. John Blair says this: in the last 24 months, I'm sorry, but no matter what happens at either UVA or Charlottesville City, nothing is as bad as what happened on a human scale than the 4th of July shooting. Absolute and total terror for an entire neighborhood with 5 shooting victims. Lots of horrible news for both, but nothing is as bad as that 4th of July shooting.
Yeah.
I mean, that 4th of July shooting is look, and I'm not like trying to marginalize violence. I'm not trying to marginalize injury. But if you have two gangs and they're choosing to shoot at themselves, and the two gangs that are shooting at themselves injure themselves,
Yeah.
that's Darwinism. That's choice. That's them doing it.
Yeah.
Violence on violence, eye for an eye. You hurt yourself, you kill yourself, you injure yourself. Maybe that's how the problem solves itself. But when crossfire and random gunfire injures 9-year-old children and 5 innocent bystanders on Independence Day at a picnic when fireworks are celebrating America, Jesus. Right?
Yeah. That's
34 shell casings, I think the number was, on the street.
Yes.
Conscious and local media said he's close to making arrests, the police department.
I mean, he's got a limited number of suspects, as he's mentioned himself.
John Blair also says this: has there ever been a month of more news in Charlottesville than the past 3 weeks, with one exception? He highlights Jim Ryan resigns,
Yeah.
the medical school dean resigns,
Yep.
the 4th of July shootings, the new zoning ordinance being voided,
Yeah.
the cybersecurity incident at Albemarle County, where Albemarle County has now said 112,000 of its 115,000 residents have had their personal data leaked on the black web to people with nefarious intentions.
Sadly, I think it's mostly employees.
Yeah, the ones that mostly have been damaged are county employees and county teachers.
Yeah.
But the county has gone on record saying roughly 112,000 of our 115,000 citizens may have had their addresses, their birth dates, their names, and their social security leaked on the dark web to an entity with nefarious intentions that used ransomware to attack our vulnerable software systems at Albemarle County. The GIS is still effing down in Albemarle County. I was literally trying to dig in and do some research in Albemarle County on the GIS. I love the GIS. I'm going to go check right now. Albemarle County GIS. Type into Google, Albemarle County GIS. Is it back up? Oh no, it's still down. There's a notice of cyber incident. Albemarle County recently became the victim of a cyber crime. We value the trust that our residents and community place in us. We also recognize the importance of their personal information and take our responsibility to protect it very seriously. The GIS is down. Like, what the hell? John Blair's comments. Comments are coming in faster than I can keep up. He continues by saying this: a police civilian review board that can't meet due to resignations
Yeah.
in the last month. And one of the biggest, highest profile parcels in the city, the bus station, was just sold. Honestly, I cannot think of a more impactful 1 month in the news cycle in Charlottesville history, except for August 11th and August 12th, 2017, John Blair's words.
Yeah.
You were going to add something. Jump in.
What was the second to last point he was making?
The second to last point he was making was the bus station parcel being sold, which we're going to talk about
before
it.
that.
The Police Civilian Review Board
Oh, yeah.
resignations.
I was going to say, even without
Just disband the Police Civilian Review Board already.
even without resignations, there's been multiple articles in the last few months about how they're essentially have their hands tied behind their back,
Yeah.
and can't actually do anything.
Right. You had Lloyd Snook at a recent city council meeting trying to go to bat for the Police Civilian Review Board. You have activists trying to join the Police Civilian Review Board. People that hate the police are trying to join the Police Civilian Review Board.
You would think in a city as left-leaning as Charlottesville is, there would be some outcry or some attempt to make the PCOB, the Police Civilian Oversight Board, effective.
I think, and I hate to say this, okay? Charlottesville has so much activism.
That it gets in its own way.
Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. We are so punch drunk with activism in Charlottesville that we can't do anything.
I could see that.
We have activism around housing. We have activism around crosswalks. We have activism around public transportation. We have activism around bike lanes and walking, pedestrian.
Street diets.
We have activism around street diets. We have activism around widening the streets. We have activism around zoning. We have activism around race. We have activism around wealth.
We have activism around kings.
We have activism around what?
Kings.
Kings?
Well, didn't we have like 7,000 or something people standing around the...
the Tesla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, after that, there was the No Kings protest.
We had activism around Donald Trump. Activism around Elon Musk. Mm-hmm. Activism around camping on the downtown mall. We have a free speech wall. We have a Black Lives Matter movement, a Black Women's Matter movement. We have an Everyone Matters movement.
And whoever's taken it upon themselves to paint ACAB on everything.
ACAB everything. SEP, SERP, or SEP on everything.
Seb.
And all we want is an effing Ethiopian restaurant. Jesus, give us the Ethiopian restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Activism. So punch drunk with our activism. Next topic. I got a 1:30 real estate showing here, so I got 11 minutes left here. What's the next topic, Judah Wickhauer? Is this Woodard? Is this...
We got Barto Tomas. We got the Greyhound station.
All right, I want to go Greyhound station. So I make sure I can get to the meat and potatoes of this. All right, NBC 29. Now, remember, they have a 30-minute broadcast. They're using 22-year-olds to report the news that have been here for 9 months. They pay them $12 an hour. So the fact that they can get anything on air in 22 minutes, 30-minute broadcast, 8 minutes commercials, 22 minutes of content with 22-year-olds who have been here 9 months, I applaud them. I used to work for NBC 29. 20 years ago, I worked for NBC 29. It ain't easy working over there. They had 2 paragraphs or 15 seconds of the fact that the Greyhound station was sold. And they said it was purchased by Renaissance Investment LLC. Greyhound station sold, Renaissance Investment LLC, $1,500,000. That's all they reported. Can we get a little more than that? Can we ask the question, who is behind Renaissance Investment LLC? You do a little digging, and it really didn't take me that long to do. It didn't take me that long to do. And you find out that Renaissance Investment LLC is owned by Keith Woodard of Woodard Properties, one of the most prominent developers in Charlottesville and Albemarle County. Renaissance Investment LLC purchased the Greyhound station. This LLC recently, earlier this year, purchased 2 properties that make up the South Street Inn for $3,460,000. In fact, they did it at the end of 2024, and it was highlighted on this show in January of this year. So you have Woodard, Keith, his son Anthony. I'll highlight this. Anthony, I see you from time to time. This dude is a brick house, an absolute unit in the weight room. You will rarely see anyone squat or deadlift more weight than Anthony Woodard. I hope he hears what I said. An absolute brick house. In the weight room with another brick house, an absolute unit, Matt Green of Tallheimer. Interestingly, Matt Green of Tallheimer represented Woodard in this deal. They work out together all the time.
Okay.
Stoner, Pritzloff, and Williams on the other side of the deal. Great job for the Tallheimer team, yet again. Professionals, commercial professionals, sincerely mean it. They're watching the program. They watch the program. I hope you hear that I'm giving you props. I want to know now what Anthony and Keith and Woodard Properties are going to do with the Greyhound station in $1.5 million purchase. A commercial property that has been on the market for years. Literally effing years. There was a homeless encampment behind the Greyhound station. Friends of mine own the adjacent buildings to the Greyhound station. Friends that I play squash with own the adjacent buildings to the Greyhound station. And they have sent me photos, and then I went and saw it firsthand where there was a homeless encampment under the Greyhound station, under like the roof where people would wait for the trains, the whatever you call them, the Greyhound buses to show up. There's a homeless encampment that has since been eradicated. Are you familiar with the device called the Mosquito? It was created in England by a grocery store owner. In England, decades ago, a grocery store owner had young teenagers, preteens, early teens, hanging out in his parking lot and basically like bothering and pestering and loitering his customers. And he created this device he calls the Mosquito. And the Mosquito is a mechanical device that you can plug into an outlet. And it elicits this, it produces this annoying noise that is so painful and annoying to the ear that no one wants to hang out or be around it. That device, why I referenced that, was used in part to solve the homeless encampment along West Main Street by the Greyhound station a handful of months ago. You plug the Mosquito in, the homeless leave.
Okay.
What is Anthony going to do? What is Keith going to do with the $1.5 million they spent on the Greyhound station? That's what I want to know. That's what the TV station should be asking. Print, radio, and television that's watching the show right now, you should be calling Woodard Properties right now and saying, what are you going to do with the Greyhound station and your $1.5 million purchase? This is called reporting. I'm not in this business anymore. I don't want to report. I want to be a commentator of the news. I don't want to report the news. Print, radio, and television, call Woodard, ask them, what are you going to do with the Greyhound station? Because as John Blair has already said, it is an extremely prominent position on a critical corridor in Charlottesville City, West Main Street.
Yeah.
An extremely prominent position. And ladies and gentlemen, the Woodards have been on an absolute buying spree since COVID. An absolute buying spree. Cherry Avenue, West Main Street, the South Street Inn, the development by Willoughby. Just off the top of my head, an effing buying and development spree for Woodard. I've been impressed with the performance, frankly. Okay, thank you, Logan Wells Claylow and Rob Neal. Logan Wells Claylow and Rob Neal said the GIS in Albemarle has now recently come back online. There is a new GIS with a totally different format. Rob and Logan, when did it come back online, out of curiosity? I may have it in my browser history, the previous gateway. When did it come back online, Robin, Logan? And thank you very much for that insight. I love you guys. All right, I have a showing, a real estate showing in 4 minutes here. Literally in 4 minutes, she's going to be walking in this door. So if you see her walking in this door, her name is Shelly. Just put me on a one shot and have her wait in the waiting room over there.
All right.
We can offer her some water. Do we have any other topics we need to cover on the show as I'm multitasking 3 different things while looking at a lease in my inbox that's getting red line right now? Literally a red line lease right here. What else do you have?
We've got Barto Tomas, which we've kind of gone over. We've got downtown mall camping.
All right, I kind of touched on this. I'll cover this story. Phone call from heavy hitter. I'm going to position it at easily 9 figures plus net worth. We'll leave it alone, leave it at that. And then a follow-up phone call from a completely different entity that camping on the downtown mall, there's scuttlebutt that it's about to be made illegal. More to come on that story, more insight that we know about that we cannot relay to you now. Barto Tomas, give him the 30 to 45 seconds here, J-Dubs.
Barto Tomas, around
Go ahead. Go ahead.
7-8 months ago, was transitioning to a new brand. As Jerry mentioned, a much needed rebrand as Quality Pie was a little bit misleading. They weren't just a pie place. So they've rebranded as Barto Tomas after the owner. Is it Tomas Rahal?
Yep.
And
Mas Tapas, what he's most known for.
yep. And while it may have gone largely under the radar, they've begun repainting the place, putting in new signs on the building, and the place is looking good now.
Yeah. I didn't understand the Quality Pie moniker because the menu was way more than just pie. Mm-hmm. It was quality food, but it was way more than just pie.
Yeah.
And the Bar Tomas, the word bar in the restaurant, is going to yield nightlife. And nightlife is critical for restaurant success in the city. I wish Tomas nothing but the best of luck.
Yeah.
The old Spud Nuts location. I'll close with this. Charlottesville Business Brokers, let's give them some love. Our brokerage division, Charlottesville Business Brokers, is effing crushing it. We, at the end of this month, close another deal, a restaurant transaction and a leasing transaction at the end of this month. And we have in the hopper a transaction that is somewhere between $2 and $3 million that we're pushing to the closing table. Charlottesville Business Brokers, online at charlottesvillebusinessbrokers.com. Commercial, brokerage, investment, reach out to us. There's few in this community that are on the cusp of the deal flow that we are on. And that's just facts and humble. It's facts and humble. Reach out to me. Office space needs, executive office space, anything, reach out to me. DM me, text me, email me. You know how to reach me. Judah Wickhauer, yours truly, Jerry Miller. Our 1:30 is 4 minutes early. Thank you kindly for joining us. So long, everybody.